Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to actually do a little bit of maintenance on the Subaru to prepare for putting on the roof rack. So with this roof rack, we're looking at putting on the traction boards on the roof because the back seats on an STI don't fall down. So it's going to be a functional mod. The other thing we're going to do is put on some LED lights in the front. This is something I've been looking at doing it for a while. I think I've come up with a solution about how to do this so that it's not only functional, but it actually kind of looks good. Not quite a light pod, but pretty darn close. Anyways, let's get at it. So the first thing you want to do is actually kind of measure out where exactly you need this and cut the piece accordingly. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of line this up, and then these welding magnets, we're just going to hold it in place so that we can trim it with a pair of scissors. Okay, there we go. We got everything trimmed up. What we're going to do next is spray on some water and isopropyl alcohol mix. So it's about 1 to 3. So we're going to coat the surface so we have a little bit of a slip agent, and then we're going to coat the backside of the PPF and then kind of get into place. Then we'll use a squeegee. It's just probably a light coat of the mix, and then a coating on the back of the PPF. I used a steamer here to help the PPF contour to the roof, and then a squeegee to press out any of the leftover slip agent. So there we are, 2 PPF pads put on the side of the car. So what we're going to do now is just set the rack on, and again look at how we're going to be mounting that set of traction boards. It's a pretty simple install. They just sit down and then have these little clamps here. Okay, all tightened up, and as you can see, there's the edge of the PPF. Sits right on top of that, so no more damage to the paint. Hey, we got the roof racks on and cleaned up, so they're actually looking really nice. And also the traction boards arrived, so we're going to set those up to basically clamp onto the roof racks. But before we do that, we're actually going to work on the front end here. Let me flip you around. So the plan here is actually to use these existing license plate holes to support the LED lights. Give you a shot of what those look like in just a second here. So we'll set these up. Got these again off Amazon, link in the description. But there's some bigger LED light pods, and there'll be 2 of them, one side on the other. And we'll set those up. Hopefully give us a little bit more light. But to do that, we're going to pull the bumper off so that we can actually put some nut certs into the steel bumper section to support them. Okay, so the bumper's off. I guess it is way easier than the FRS. The FRS has just a ton of bolts, and like most importantly, you can see this light is popped out. There's a bolt behind there. Total pain. So next we're going to set up our mount for the light bar itself, and I've already gone ahead and trimmed up a piece of aluminum. So the bracket will sit flush to the bumper like this, and then we'll put our rally lights in on top of it like this. One there, and one on the other side. So what we gotta do now is drill the mounting holes. Okay, we're done making our bracket all drilled out. It's gonna sit right like this. As you can see, let me just bring it up here a little bit. It's gonna match those body lines, and all we're gonna do is run 2 long bolts into the bumper mount on the front. So we gotta take the bumper back off, and then just put some Rivnuts in there, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. So the bumper off, you can see where we've already marked the holes where this is gonna go. So we're going to drill a pilot, the smaller bit, and then run in with a Christmas tree bit to open up, and then we'll put the Rivnuts in there as well. Okay, now we got the pilot holes through. We're just gonna come in with a Christmas tree bit and kind of make the hole bigger so the Rivnut will fit in. So here's the Rivnuts. What we're gonna do is just bore this out and then slot them in and use the tool to insert them down. So we got the Rivnut in, then all we gotta do is take our handy dandy tool, link in the description from Amazon. Rivnut's installed. Okay, as you can see, we got the raid rods in and locked down with a lock nut, and we've already tested the foam. So the next step is we're actually going to get a piece of aluminum tube that goes over top of these and slide them in so they'll give it a little bit more rigidity. Aluminum's on, foam bumper's on. Now we're just going to lift the bumper into place, slide it on. To make this fit, we had to hollow out or hog out the urethane on the bumper a little bit, but now it's just nice and flush. Okay, we got the lights all on here and getting ready to wire this up. So basically going to wire these together and then route them up through the chassis, and then basically just take the switch into the engine or the cabin there. Now to crimp them together, I'm actually going to use this crimping set that I got off of Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description below for you, but these ones are the smallest gauge, and we're going to just slip them on over the individual sections and then be able to crimp them down. Once we're done that, we'll actually go in behind and do shrink sleeves as well, just to make sure this is all weatherproof. Okay, we got everything wired together now, and all we gotta do is slip the garnish back in place. So now we've got the front garnish back on, we're gonna add a couple more zip ties here just to tidy everything up. And then we're gonna connect the power supply to the relay and test the system. Okay, we got everything installed. Ground, power, relay, put it right by the fuse box, and we have an inline fuse down here. It's all been zip tied and tucked away nicely. So as you can see, they're on. They're super bright. So I just tried to take a video outside with it. It may or may not have turned out as well as I want to, because they're so powerful that they're actually very much drowning out the HIDs. So I think we gotta change out the HIDs to an LED as well. Now these are not projector headlights, so obviously that's gonna be a bit of a difference than more modern lights, but I think these are gonna help us a ton out at night in the woods or on the ice. Until next time, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna make a major difference for us. It really does help us out. Thumbs up on the likes if you enjoyed this content, and comment. What do you think we should do next? We got a couple plans. You can see that this thing's jacked up. There's a reason for that. But until next week, hope you have a good time and be safe.